Hello again, mortals. Welcome back to the Week of Chaos! We some unfinished business around here.
We didn't get a chance to answer all of your questions in one video, so we're gonna try and pick things up again today. And, we're gonna do our best to try and have fun with this one. We're gonna steer away from things that kinda got sensitive last time. And if something sensitive does come up, we don't have to answer it. Right, Set?
I get it. It'll be fine, don't worry. We'll have a blast.
That's the spirit.
I'm gonna go first this time. Question 17. Have either of you ever had a favorite mortal worshipper? Yes, actually.
Really?
The pharaoh said it first. The man's literally named after me. How could I not like him? He fathered Ramesses II. You mortals really have a soft spot for that pharaoh, but you never mention his father all that much. The guy was just as much of a military genius as his son was.
Wow, Set. I didn't realize you paid that much attention to mortal affairs.
I have to, sometimes.
I personally don't have any favorite worshippers, but it's pretty interesting that you do.
Oh, is that supposed to mean you don't play favorites, nephew?
Hush you. What does Set think of Horus's baby pictures and vice versa? What?
We don't necessarily have pictures, but I do remember what you looked like as a child.
You do?
Yes. You were essentially a giant ball of white fluff, completely and utterly harmless. And I don't think I'd have had the patience to pluck out the feathers just so I could eat you anyway.
Oh boy. Too bad I can't actually see what you looked like as a kid.
Let's just say I had quite the glow up.
Really? Mr. Masculinity was an ugly baby?
It must be shocking, I know, seeing how attractive I am now.
You wish!
What stereotypes do you think each god is perceived as, and why? What?
What kind of stereotypes do you mean? I don't think you can actually answer this question.
Well, nephew, I'd say you're a goody-two-shoes stickler, if that counts.
Very funny. When you two first met the serpent, what was it like seeing the snake?
Ah, I remember my first time on the Sun March. I will admit, I was afraid. At the time, of course, not anymore.
I actually was with you when I rode on the Sun Barge for the first time. It was a little frightening, but you were more worried about showing off than anything else. You weren't scared then.
Damn right I wasn't. Old Fang Face doesn't scare me anymore. I was barely older than your youngest son when I rode the barge for the first time. I remember feeling so small and so weak. I wondered, how could I ever defeat this thing? Then I started to realize it was that fear the serpent preys upon. Grandfather had to keep the boat from being caught in the sea of chaos. He couldn't stop to save me if I failed. He was counting on me, putting faith in me that I could handle it. Knowing that was what spurred me on most of all.
Wow. You know, I'm glad you were there to have my back on my first time.
I'm sure you would have been fine without me.
Aww.
But it is my job now. And don't even think about trying to take it from me.
Ha! Don't worry, I won't.
Are you two still fooling around after all this time? You flirt with each other a lot.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah, of course not.
Are you going to do more Minecraft?
Does Set know any shanties?
Good question. You do go sailing on a boat every night, after all.
What? You think I just burst into song with Grandfather in the dead of night?
Oh, now that would be a sight. Not only you, but Ra, just bursting into song with no rhyme or reason. That would be hilarious.
Sorry, mortals. No shanties here.
Hey, wait a minute. This one's from the human, Egyptian Enthusiast. She says, Set, ya boy, what the fuck is up with all the tallies on my videos?
Ah, yes, about that. You see, all those tallies were a measure of how many times you disrespected me. And that just means your next punishment will be worse than ever.
You're talking about a game, right?
Yes, nephew, it's just a game. What is your favorite power to use? Ooh, now this is a question I like.
Okay, you can go first.
Do I really have to pick a favorite? I love sand surfing and shadow sneaking, though I do suppose having the power to fling lightning bolts is the best of all, especially when fighting in the underworld. Nothing like hurling an electrical spear into a cesspool of demons!
Just don't do it in the palace, and we'll be fine.
Ah, that's right. You electrocuted yourself in that trailer video, didn't you?
Hey, shut up! I don't know how that shit works.
I think we get the picture.
As for me, my flight isn't necessarily a power. It's more of an innate part of being a bird. So I guess that doesn't really quite count. Still, having command of the skies makes flight all the more fun. I don't really think I could function normally if I couldn't fly. Horus, how's Hathor's cooking? Is it just fluff? Oh my gods, Hathor is one of the best cooks I've ever seen. It's amazing. Even with the smallest set of ingredients, she can make a meal that tastes absolutely fantastic. I don't think I've ever come across someone that can top her cooking.
Careful, nephew. You're gonna start putting on weight. Birds with full crops can't fly away from predators.
Oh, leave me alone!
What does Set think about the 4 sons of Horus? I'm gonna be honest, nephew. Your sons are a bunch of idiots.
Go easy on them now. They're young.
As long as you keep them out of my realm.
Does Set know their way?
Oh no!
That's a dead meme.
Question for both Horus and Set. What makes you happy?
Huh. Well, my family makes me happy. My immediate family. I mean, my wife and sons, my parents.
And what about your dear old uncle?
Oh, no, this is nice. You bring both happiness and frustration, so I don't think you count.
You wound me, nephew.
I'm only kidding, I'm only kidding.
I'll have to agree with you on that front. My wife is the light of my life, after all. Though I do enjoy harassing you and seeing you squirm.
Yes, I'm aware.
Look at those obvious things. I suppose I feel most satisfied when I feel as if I am fulfilling my duties. I am proud to serve as Rouse Guard in the Sun Barge, and more than happy to spread mischief as God of Chaos.
I mean, have to say some good food is enough to make me happy. Again, my wife is a phenomenal cook.
Of course.
Has Horus ever eaten mice? Good question. Not as an adult, or willingly, of course, but as a kid, I don't really know. My mother and Anubis and I really had to scrounge for scraps when we were living on the run. I wouldn't be surprised if a mouse or something was a day's meal. It was pretty rough.
For the memes, what is your favorite kink?
What kind of question is that?
You got something to be ashamed of, nephew?
We can't answer this. Not without making the video 18 plus, anyway.
Fine, fine. Alright, we won't do it. Gods, you're so easy.
For wholesome memes, what do you like about each other? What quirk does the other have that you wish you could have? Huh, talk about whiplash.
Oh, lighten up, nephew. I thought you liked these kinds of questions.
Yeah, but... Fine. I guess you're just happy to have somebody to stroke your ego, eh, Set?
Oh, what? You need me to go first?
It'd be nice to hear some genuine positivity come out of your mouth.
I get the picture. You want me to say nice things about you.
That is the idea.
Alright. What do I like about you? Well, for one, I love how easy you are to rile up.
Of course.
I like that you're always honest, too. I don't have to play any mind games with you like I do your parents. Now, for something I wish I had. I'd like to have your charisma. Sure, I've got charm. But you and your father, people actually listen to you.
I see.
So, that's about it. What about you, nephew? What do you like about me?
I don't really know.
Oh, of course. I see how it is.
No, I promise. There is something. I just don't know how to say it.
Take your time.
I really like the fact you're just never afraid to take action. Sure, it can be irritating sometimes, but there's something admirable about being able to speak your mind and cast aside all fear. I wish I could do that. Within reason, of course. Sometimes it's good to hold your tongue right, but having the courage to speak up when it's right is really commendable, Set.
I see.
Is that good enough for you?
Yes it is.
Oh boy.
Set, have you met Loki? You two would get along great. Well, not personally. Though, like we explained earlier, I know of him. And he does seem like a pretty fun guy.
Don't go causing trouble now. Okay, so this might be a heavy question, but for Set, what do you think of Osiris after all this time? Uh-oh.
Well...
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, Set.
No, it's fine. Osiris and I have moved on. All was reconciled, remember? I don't hate him. I don't really know if I ever did hate him. I don't think he hates me for what happened. He's far too trusting and forgiving for his own good. I don't really know what to think anymore. We're not at odds anymore, so I guess that's all that's left to be said.
Huh.
Is that the last question?
Yeah, that's it. Up until that last one, these were actually pretty fun. I had a great time, Set.
Yeah? Me too.
Hey, Set, that last one, that actually gives me a pretty good idea.
Oh?
Yeah, I think it'll wrap the week up pretty nicely.
That's right. We only have one more day.
So, let's make it count.
Alright.
Okay, here's the plan.